Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in AAA Department, working in ISL Engineering College. So in last class, we have started with the second unit of high voltage DC transmission subject for AAA final year students. So second unit is all about converter circuits. So in this we are going to see rectifier and inverter circuits, their equivalent circuits. And also we have seen Grade's bridge in the previous class. Okay. So in second unit, we will take up the study of converter circuits used in both line commutated converters, that is LCC, and voltage source converter VSC stations. Basic configuration of a three-phase converter, that is both LCC and VSC, is a bridge converter, which is called as Grade's bridge, which can be fed from transformer windings connected in star or delta. So let us see what is a converter circuit. Converter will act as a link or the transforming stage between the power source and the supply output. There are several kinds of converters based on the source input voltage and the output voltage, and these will fall into four categories. So already we have seen this in previous class. Okay, rectifier, cycloconverter, voltage or current converter, and an inverter. So what does a rectifier do? Rectifier will convert AC to DC. Cycloconverter will convert AC to AC. Current or voltage converter will convert DC to DC, and inverter will convert DC to AC. So basic configuration of a three-phase converter is a bridge converter, that is Grade's bridge, which can feed from transformer windings connected either in star or delta. The converter transformer feeding a Grade's bridge serves the objectives of providing three things. First one is galvanic separation between AC and DC sides. Second is voltage transformation between AC and DC networks. Third is adjustment of applied voltage by on-load tap changer, that is OLTC. So when we see the Grade's bridge, we can see here 1, 3, 5, 4, 6, 2 diodes, or we can name them as S1, S3, S5, S4, S6, S2. Okay, anything is same. So auto transformer can meet the last two objectives, but it cannot provide galvanic separation. That is, it can meet the voltage transformation between AC and DC networks and adjustment of applied AC voltage by on-load tap changer transformer, but it cannot provide galvanic separation. So as seen in the Grade's bridge, we can see there will be 6 switches numbered in the order in which they are to be turned on. In a LCC, the switches are made up of thyristor valves, whereas in a VSC, they are made up of IGBT valves. So it is assumed that the phase sequence is ABC. So let us see the line commutated converter. Here we are analyzing the Grade's bridge, neglecting overlap. So in a line commutated converter, Grade's bridge is connected to three balanced sinusoidal voltage sources on the AC side and constant DC current source on the DC side, as shown in the figure. Okay. So here in the figure, connected are three-phase balanced sinusoidal voltage sources on the AC side. Okay, these are all three balanced AC voltages and constant DC current source on DC side. Okay, or this is a constant DC current source. So each of the switches S1 to S6 in the Grade's bridge are made up of series connected thyristor devices to provide required voltage rating. So valve is denoted by thyristor symbol as shown in the figure. So thyristor symbol, we all know this. So it consists of three terminals: anode, cathode and gate. Okay. Positive one will be anode denoted by A, negative is cathode denoted by K, and gate. Okay. So thyristor valve can be viewed as a switch which can be turned on when the terminal A is positive with respect to terminal K. Whenever anode is positive with respect to cathode, the thyristor can work as a switch. And also we are giving a gate firing signal at the terminal G. Okay. So once the thyristor switch is turned on, it can be turned off only when current through it goes to zero and there is a minimum commutation margin. When the voltage across the thyristor is reverse bias, voltage at terminal A is negative with respect to K. So in modern high voltage thyristor device, which is rated at 8 kilovolt and above, the margin required may be hundreds of microseconds. So in general, when no gate pulse is present, switch should withstand both positive and negative voltages, and when we neglect the losses in the thyristor valves, voltage across the device will be zero when it is turned on, and the current to the devices will be zero when it is not conducting. In other words, valve can be viewed as ideal switches subject to the constants which are mentioned above. Okay. Current can flow only in one direction through the thyristor switch, that is from anode to cathode when it is turned on. So switches S1, S3, S5 will carry current towards the terminal P, while switches S2, S4 and S6 will carry the current from terminal L. So direct current ID has to flow through at least one valve in the upper group and one valve in the lower group. Upper group will be S1, S3, S5 and lower group will be S2, S4, S6. So neglecting overlap between any two valves in a group, we can state that only one valve conducts in the upper group or lower group. Thus, in a cycle of applied AC voltage, there will be 6 equal intervals as shown in the figure in the timing diagram. So we assume that switch S3 is turned on at omega t is alpha. Prior to this, switches S1 and S2 will be conducting, and we assume that S1 will turn off as soon as the S3 turns on, because there is no overlap here. So if overlap is there, then at the time the situation is different. Okay, so here we are neglecting the overlap, so only one switch will be on at a time. So switches S1 and S2 are conducting, and we assume that S1 will turn off as soon as S3 is turning on. Overlap between S1 and S3 cannot be neglected if there are inductors in the circuit. So this table is showing us the DC voltages across the converter for each of the 6 intervals. So interval, if valves are conducting, then it is 2, 3, 3, 4. For 2, 3, voltage is EBC, 3, 4 EBA, 4, 5 ECA, 5, 6 ECB, 6, 1 EAB and 1, 2 ESC. So voltage across valve switch S3 is EBA before it is fired, then it is turned on. If we denote EBA, then EBA is root 2 ELL sin omega t. So EBA is equal to root 2 ELL sin omega t. Voltage across switch S3 is negative when omega t is less than 0 and becomes positive when omega t is greater than 0. So for a thyristor valve, we can delay the turn on by a delay angle alpha by applying a gate pulse at omega t is alpha. It is assumed that delay angle is constant in steady state. So expression for EBA will be given that from EBA we can write EA, EB, EC. Okay, EA is EA of t equal to root 2 by 3 ELL sin omega t plus 150. See, all three are displaced from each other by an angle of 120 degrees. So I am taking the angles here 150, 30 and minus 90. Okay. So EB of t is root of 2 by 3 ELL sin omega t plus 30. EC of t is root 2 by 3 ELL sin omega t minus 90 degrees. So we assume only positive sequence supply voltages. Expression for DC voltage, VPN and voltage across valve 1 for each interval is shown in another table I will discuss later. So waveforms of these voltages for alpha equal to 0, 45, 90, 135 and 180 degrees are shown in this figure. Okay, so 0, 45, 90, 135 and 180. For all these angles, DC and VAV voltage waveforms are shown. The pulse number, which is defined as the ratio of base frequency of the DC voltage ripple to the fundamental frequency of the AC voltage for a Graves bridge is 6. Okay. Pulse number for a Graves bridge is 6 here. We also note that average DC voltage reduces as alpha is increased from 0 to 90 degrees. On the other hand, as alpha is increased from 90 to 180 degrees, average DC voltage will increase in negative direction and ripple content will reduce. Okay. What we are telling you that when alpha is increased from 90 to 180 degrees, so from 90 to 180 degrees, what is happening? Average DC voltage increases and ripple content will reduce. So this is the table showing DC and valve voltages. Okay. For interval 1, conducting valves are 2, 3. DC voltage is root 3 ELL sin omega t plus 60 and voltage across valve 1 is EAB is minus root 2 ELL sin omega t. Similarly, for second interval, conducting valves are 3, 4. Voltage is root 2 ELL sin omega t and voltage across valve 1 is minus root 2 ELL sin omega t. So similarly, for all 6 intervals, we can see the DC voltage and valve voltages. So DC voltage waveform repeat for each interval, and hence average DC voltage can be found by taking average of VPN over 1 interval during which a pair of valves will conduct. This is based on assumption that applied voltages are balanced. So we are assuming here that we are giving a balanced supply and also they are sinusoidal in nature. And ELL will remain constant. We also assume that firing of the valves is equidistant, that is at the interval of 60 degrees. This also implies that each valve conducts for 120 degrees duration. So let us consider interval corresponding to the conduction of valves 2 and 3. At the beginning of the interval, valve 3 is fired and at the end of the interval, valve 2 is turned off. Assuming the firing of valve 3 is delayed by an angle alpha, that is alpha degree after the zero crossing of commutation voltage for valve 3, the instantaneous DC voltage Vd during the interval is given by Vd is equal to Vpn, that is Eb minus Ec, that is EDC. Omega t is lying between alpha and alpha plus 60 degrees. So EBA is root 2 VLL sin omega t and EBC is root 2 ELL sin omega t plus 60 degrees. So average DC voltage is given by Vd is 3 by pi integral alpha to alpha plus 60 root 2 ELL sin omega t plus 60 degrees d omega t. So sin of A plus B. Integral of sin of omega t plus 60, okay, 3 by pi root 2 ELL cos alpha plus 60 minus cos alpha plus 120 degrees. When we apply the limits, we are going to get the equation of Vd as Vd0 cos alpha. So this equation indicates that for different values of alpha, Vd is variable. Range of alpha is 180 degrees and correspondingly Vd can vary from Vd0 to minus Vd0. Such same converter can act as rectifier or inverter depending upon whether the DC voltage is positive or negative. Next, let us see the one more thing here that this is based on assumption of continuous conduction of currents by any valve over 120 degrees interval. So DC current flow is unidirectional. Now let us see DC voltage harmonics. DC voltage waveform contains ripple whose fundamental frequency is 6 times the supply frequency. So this can be analyzed in Fourier series and contains harmonics of the order h equal to 6n, where n is an integer. Harmonic in the DC voltage is given by Vh is root of Ah square plus Bh square by root 2. Ah is nothing but here 1 by pi integral alpha to alpha plus 2 pi Vd cos of h theta d theta. Bh is 1 by pi integral alpha to alpha plus 2 pi Vd sin h theta d theta. So it can be shown that the RMS value of hth harmonic order harmonic in DC voltage is given by Vh is equal to Vd0 root 2 by h square minus 1 into 1 plus h square minus 1 sin square alpha whole power half. Now let us see valve voltage waveform. So here in this figure, it shows the valve voltage waveform which shows three voltage jumps that arise due to the commutation from one valve to the next in the same commutation group. Valve voltage waveform can be obtained from expression for a valve voltage given in table. Okay, the voltage jumps are of same magnitude given by Vj is root 2. Root 2 ELL sin alpha that is equal to pi by 3 Vd0 sin alpha. So these voltages will jump. These voltage jumps contribute to the voltage stresses dV by dt across the valve. Valve damping circuits will be provided to relieve these stresses. Although alpha can vary from 0 to 180 degrees, full range cannot be utilized. In order to ensure firing of all the series connected thyristors, it is necessary to provide minimum limit of alpha greater than 0, say 5 degrees. So in order to allow for the turn off time of a valve, it is necessary to provide upper limit which is less than 180 degrees. Delay angle alpha is not allowed to go beyond 180 degrees minus gamma, where gamma is the extinction angle. It is also called as margin angle. Minimum value of the extinction angle is typically 10 degrees, although in normal operation as an inverter, it is not allowed to go below 15 or 18 degrees. So in the absence of forced commutation, alpha cannot be negative. AC current waveform. It is assumed that the direct current has no ripple or harmonics. This is normally valid because of smoothing reactor provided in series with the bridge circuit. AC currents flowing through this valve and primary winding of the converter transformer will contain harmonics. Waveform of the current in a valve winding is shown in the figure. So waveforms of IB and EB are shown here. Current in a valve winding is determined by the currents flowing in the valves connected to that winding. Example, current in phase B, that is IB, is I3 when valve 3 is conducting and minus I6 when valve 6 is conducting. So each valve conducts for 120 degrees and valve 6 is turned on 180 degrees after the firing of valve 3. So above figure is showing the applied voltage EB equal to root 3 LL sin omega t plus 30 degrees. And we can write the equation for IB as IB equal to I3 equal to ID. Omega t is lying between alpha and alpha plus 120 degrees. And IB equal to minus I6, that is equal to minus ID when omega t is lying between alpha plus 180 and alpha plus 300 degrees. So defining theta equal to omega t minus alpha minus 60 degrees, RMS value fundamental component is given by I1 equal to 1 by root 2 2 by pi integral minus pi by 3 to plus pi by 3 ID cos theta d theta, that equal to root 6 by pi ID. So whereas RMS value of the current is I equal to root of 2 by 3 ID. So harmonics contained in the waveform are of the order given by h equal to 6n plus or minus 1. N is an integer here. So order of AC harmonics is 5, 7, 11, 13 and so on. These are filtered out by using tuned filters for each of the first 4 harmonics and a high pass filter for the rest. RMS value of h, the harmonic, is given by IH is equal to I1 by h. Let us see power factor. AC power supplied to the converter is given by PAC is root 3 LL I1 cos phi, where phi is the fundamental frequency. Power factor. DC power must match the AC power ignoring the losses in the converter. Thus we get PAC is equal to PDC equal to VDID, that is root 3 EL I1 cos phi. So substituting for VD and I1 from equations 3 and 6 in above equation, we obtain cos phi equal to cos alpha. Reactive power requirements will be increased as alpha is increased from 0 or reduced from 180 degrees. When alpha is 90 degrees, power factor is 0 and only reactive power is consumed. Now let us see in today's class the choice of converter configuration for any pulse number. So till this point, yesterday's class I have finished. Okay, I have done a revision. Okay, of yesterday's class. So today's class will begin from here. That is, what is the choice of converter configuration for any pulse number. So Graves bridge is a 6 pulse converter for which lowest DC voltage harmonic is 6. Correspondingly, lowest AC current harmonics are 5th and 7th. So to reduce the harmonic content, to reduce the harmonic content in AC current and DC voltage, it is desirable to use higher pulse numbers. In general, it can be stated that characteristic harmonics are of the order HDC is equal to NP and HAC equal to NP plus or minus 1. N is integer, P is the pulse number. There are several configurations for a converter of a specified pulse number. For P equal to 6, we have, in addition to Graves bridge, 6-phase geometrical connection, cascade of 3 single-phase full-wave converters, cascade of 2 3-phase converters, parallel connection with interface transformer, etc. It is convenient to consider a P-pulse converter made up of series and parallel connections of a basic valve, group of Q valves or switches, as shown in this figure. Here the switch is a thyristor valve whose firing can be delayed from instant when the valve voltage becomes positive. Voltage sources are actually obtained from the converter transformer windings. So when we neglect overlap, only one valve conducts in a commutation group of Q valves. If the converter is made up of a matrix of S valve groups in series and R valve groups in parallel, then P is equal to QRS. So in this diagram, you can see a converter made up of series and parallel connection of commutation groups. Okay. So for the converter configuration in general, there are P transformer windings and it will be shown that sometimes windings can be combined. That is in particularly for Q equal to 3, R equal to 1, S equal to 2. Let us see valve rating. Valve voltage rating is specified in terms of peak inverse voltage PIV, which it has to withstand. Ratio of PIV to the average DC voltage is an index of the valve utilization. The average maximum DC voltage across the converter is given by VD0 equal to S into Q by 2 pi integral minus pi by Q to plus pi by Q EM cos omega t d omega t, and this can be simplified as SQ by pi EM sin pi by Q. peak inverse voltage PIV across a valve can be obtained as follows. If Q is even, then maximum inverse voltage occurs when the valve with a phase displacement of pi radians is conducting, and this is given by PIV equal to 2EM. If Q is off, maximum inverse voltage occurs when the valve with a phase shift of pi plus or minus pi by q is conducting. In this case, PIV is equal to 2EM cos pi by 2q. So valve utilization factor is given by PIV by VD0 equal to 2 pi by SQ sin pi by q for q even, and for q odd it is equal to pi by SQ sin pi by 2q. So table below shows the valve utilization factor for different 6-pulse converter configuration. Best valve utilization is obtained for configuration 1 and 3. So this is serial number QRS and PIV by VD0. So for 1, Q is 2, R is 1, S is 3, and this ratio is 1.047. So similarly for 5, okay, till 5 serial numbers we are taking this valve utilization factor. Next is transformer rating. Current rating of a valve as well as transformer winding supplying it is given by IV equal to ID by RQ, R root Q, where ID is the DC current which is assumed to be constant, and transformer ratings are on the valve side is given by STV equal to P into EM by root 2 IV, and that is equal to pi by root 2 VD0 by VD0 ID by root Q sin pi by Q. So transformer utilization factor STV by V20 ID is only a function of Q, optimum value of Q, which results in maximum utilization equal to 3. AC power supply is 3-phase and the commutator group of 3 valves is easily arranged. So for Q equal to 3, STV by VD0 ID equal to 1.481, and transformer utilization can be improved further if 2 valve groups can share a single transformer winding. In this case, current rating of the winding can be increased by a factor of root 2 while decreasing the number of windings by a factor of 2. So for this case, STV by VD0 ID equal to 1.047. So this is a 6-pulse converter. The diagram is shown here. So for a 6-pulse converter, we can arrange this easily. The grid circuit is shown, which already I have shown you, is obtained when the 2 windings are combined into 1. When the 2 windings of the 6-pulse converter are combined into 1, then we are going to get a grid circuit. Okay. So this is possible since the terminals A and A dash are at the same potential. So it can be shown that both from valve and transformer utilization consideration, grid circuit is the best circuit for a 6-pulse converter. For a 12-pulse converter, see, in HVDC transmission, series conduction of converter groups can be preferred because of the ease of control and protection as well as requirements of high voltage rating. So 12-pulse converter is obtained by the series connection of 2 bridges. 30 degrees phase displacement between the 2 sets of source voltages is achieved by the transformer connections. Star for feeding one bridge and star delta for feeding second bridge. So use of 12-pulse converter is preferable over 6-pulse converter because of the reduced filtering requirements. However, increase in pulse number beyond 12 is not practical because non-characteristic harmonics will not be eliminated. Okay, let us see an example here. One problem. For a 12-pulse converter with Q equal to 4, S equal to 3, R equal to 1, calculate the maximum DC power and transformer ratings. If PIV rating of the valve is V and the RMS current rating is I. Rework the problem if Q equal to 3, S equal to 4, R equal to 1. Let us see the solution. With even value of Q, PIV equal to 2EM and VD0 is Q by pi, SEM sin pi by Q. Substitute all the values, we are getting the value of VD0 as 1.35 volts. I equal to ID by R root Q. So it is equal to 2I. PD max is VD0 ID, that is 2.70 VI, and STV is P into EM by root 2I, that is 4.243 VI. So to substitute the value of Q, S and R as 341. So PIV equal to 2EM cos pi by 2Q, that is 2EM cos 30 degrees, that is cos 30 is 1 by 2. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So 2 gets cancelled, EM into root 3. Okay. VT0 is 1.91 volts, 1.91 V, and ID is equal to 3.31 VI, and STV is 4.9 VI. So with only 6 windings on the valve side, STV is 4.9 by root 2 VI, that is 3.465 VI. So now let us do the analysis of a 12 pulse converter. So to analyze the operation of a 12 pulse converter, let us consider a converter circuit diagram as shown in the figure. Okay, this figure. This shows two transformers with the primary windings connected in star and connected to the common supply voltage. Current supplied by the supply are the sum of the currents flowing in the two primary windings. So we can write I by equation for IA, IB and IC as IA equal to IAS plus ID, IB equal to IBS plus IBD, IC equal to ICS plus ICD. So determining the voltage and current waveforms, there is no loss of generality in assuming that the turns ratio of the transformer feeding bridge 1 as 1:1 and turns ratio of the transformer feeding the second bridge as 1:√3. Assuming ideal transformers, we will get the identical magnitude of the AC voltages applied to the two bridges. Assuming EA, EB and EC are defined as follows. EA is equal to EAS is equal to root of 2 by 3 ELL sin omega t plus 150. Plus 30 and minus 95 EB and EC respectively. So we will get the line to line voltages applied to the second bridge as EBAHT equal to minus root 3 EA, that is root 2 ELL sin omega t minus 30 degrees. So when we compare this above equation with equation 2.1, we note that the voltages applied to bridge 2 lag the voltage applied to the bridge 1 by 90 degrees. Assuming identical delay angle for both the bridges, valve 3 in the second bridge will be fired at 30 degrees after firing the valve 3 in bridge 1. So in a 12 pulse converter, there will be 12 intervals in a cycle, each of duration 30 degrees. In each interval, 4 valves will conduct. So this table is showing conducting valves from each bridge for all intervals. So subscript S and D will denote bridges with star connected and delta connected windings respectively. So here in this conducting valves bridge 1, so here it is 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1, 1, 2. For 2, 3 voltage is EBCS, 3, 4 EBAS, 4, 5 ECAS. Okay. For conducting valves bridge 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1. Voltages are EACD, EBCD, EAC. Okay. And so on. DC voltage VDC for a 12 pulse converter is the sum of DC voltage for individual bridges. So VD equal to VD1 plus VD2. So for interval IA, RHS can be expressed as VD equal to EBCS plus EACD. From table we are writing this one. So substituting the value of EBCS and EACD, I am getting the value of VD as EM sin omega t plus 75 degrees. Where EM is defined as EM is root 3 ELL 2 cos 15 degrees, that is root 2 ELL 1.931. Average DC voltage VDC is given by VDC equal to 6 by pi integral alpha to alpha plus 30 EM sin omega t plus 75 degrees d omega t. So when we simplify that, we'll get the value of VDC as 2 VD0 cos alpha, where VD0 is 3 by pi root 2 ELL. So current IBD flowing in the primary winding of star delta connected transformer is given by IBD is root 3 I2. I2 is the current flowing in secondary winding that is coupled with phase B. Assuming that I1 plus I2 plus I3 is 0, we can show that IBD is 1 by root 3 IBD minus ICD. The waveform of IBD, IBS, IBD and IB are shown in this figure. Waveforms of current in 12 pulse converter. So in deriving the waveform of IBD, it is to be noted that IBD lags IBS by 30 degrees and ICD will lag IBD by 120 degrees. So it can be shown that RMS value of fundamental component of the supply current in 12 pulse converter is given by I1 equal to 2 root 6 by pi ID and harmonic content IH is given by I1 by H. H is the equal to 12 n plus or minus 1 n is an integer and it is equal to 6 n plus or minus 1 m is an even integer. In comparing with the harmonic currents of a 6 pulse converter, it is obvious that 5th and 7th harmonics flowing into transformers will cancel each other. So this can be generalized to the case whenever m is an odd integer. Let us see the effect of finite smoothing reactor here. So earlier we assumed that ID is constant, which will supply that the which implies that the reactance of the smoothing reactor is very high. If the smoothing reactor is finite, then we cannot neglect the ripple in the DC current. Average DC current should be above a minimum value corresponding to the peak value of the ripple, such that the current in the DC link remains continuous. Since valves currents can be only unidirectional when the current goes to zero, there is discontinuity, and extension of link current can lead to over voltages across the valves due to lightly damped LC circuit consisting of smoothing reactor and the line capacitance. So this is the equivalent circuit for calculating ripple. To compute the ripple in the DC link current, consider the equivalent circuit here. ID is the inductance of the reactor and VD is the constant voltage source that will represent the effect of converter at the other terminal. Time varying voltage VD of T across the converter is given by VD of T equal to Em cos omega T, and omega T is lying between minus pi by P plus alpha and plus pi by P plus alpha. Since the losses in the circuit are neglected, we also have the constant given by VD equal to P by pi integral minus pi by P plus alpha plus pi by P plus alpha VD of T d omega T. So we are going to get the value of VD as P by pi Em sin pi by P cos alpha. Current is minimum when VD of T is VD and it is increasing per alpha equal to 0. The instant of minimum current occurs after the firing instant. So it can be observed that as alpha increases, current minimum occurs at the firing instant. Minimum value for which the minimum current occurs at the firing instant is given by VD equal to Em cos alpha minus pi by P. So tan alpha can be written as pi by P minus cot pi by P. The expression for direct current and average current we are getting here, okay? And this is the waveform of VD of omega T and VD. So we are getting the value of ID and VD0. ID as 3 by 6 VD0 omega LD into 1 minus pi by P cot pi by P sin alpha plus ID minimum, where VD naught is equal to 3 root 2 by pi ELL, okay, equal to 6 by P by pi EM sin pi by P. For the current in the DC link to be continuous, ID minimum is greater than or equal to 0. For the limiting case of ID minimum, we get ID minimum equal to P by 6 D0 by omega LD 1 minus pi by P cot pi by P sin alpha. The factor that is 1 minus this entire thing 1 minus pi by P cot pi by P has a value of 0.0931 for P equal to 6 and 0.0230 for P equal to 12. Okay students, thank you very much for watching the video. Next class I will be discussing about voltage source converter. Thank you everyone.